everybody. I hope you are all doing very, very well. Merry Christmas to you. Happy holidays. Um, so we are things are strange with the Idaho Four. You know, let me look these silly birds. Let me cover their cage and see if I can quiet them, and rather than locking them up because I've worked all day and they've been by themselves. But I hate to go lock them up. You know, well, maybe they're going to get quiet now. So yes, so this case with the Idaho Four, it's odd. It's very strange. We have big changes now by the cops, I think specifically, who, for all intent purposes, they really haven't given us a direction. I, the most obvious suspects, they have come out and said, "Oh, ruled them out." You know, hey, look, obvious suspect, new video at the grub truck. 15 minutes later, oh, cleared. And it's just kind of those of us that are very interested in the case, it's just kind of left us a little bit discombobulated because we think, well, that is very fast. How did you do that so quickly? How do you know what he did? It was the middle of the night. Nobody's awake in the middle of the night. He's walking alone after the girls ditch him. We don't even have any idea where Joe Vidot went other than what he tells us. And yet, clearly, YouTube true crime people, within the first week of having that recording, we were all saying the same thing. She tells them, F you. She said, we heard it. And though there was only a few of us that tried to bring it up, and everybody was like, oh, you're trying to be sensational, blah, blah, blah. Well, now, I guess because Ashley Banfield decided that it was real, I guess now it's okay to talk about it. But nevertheless, it just seemed like this police department was busy clearing everyone rather than thinking about this crime in a strategic manner, right? It was sort of like problem solution. It was like there would be a potential suspect, and then they would run around and figure out ways to convince everybody that that person is not a suspect at all. We know him. How can he be a suspect? We know him. Oh, really? Because people knew Chris Watts too. Chris Watts was a beloved character to the people that he worked with. Remember? The people in Shanann's life believed that Chris Watts was a wonderful man, completely a family man that was devoted to his children and his wife. So I think when you get into this territory that the Idaho Four have brought us to, I think when you get into this territory of four murdered, healthy, strong adults within what some people on 4chan are saying 19 minutes. I think the idea of, well, I know him, he couldn't possibly involved, that's gone right out the window. Charlie Manson was well loved by the Beach Boys. He almost got a record deal. There's plenty of really insane people that are psychopaths, and they can convince others that they don't have a mean bone in their body. And meanwhile, they're quite capable of some of the most vicious acts imaginable. I'm just even going to go out on a limb and keep it factual. Even our military men, the Navy SEALs, we give them a lot of honor. We give them a lot of they get a lot of respect, but in reality, you do recognize they are trained killers. They are practiced in the act of ending life. same thing when people run around and they were saying, "Oh, O.J. Simpson, he would never hurt anybody. He's such a great guy. He's a beloved football hero." Okay, I agree. But do you recognize, really and truly, do you understand the level of violence that happens in NFL football? These people it's like getting run over by a car multiple times during one game. It's why you've got people that have played in the NFL for years and then their brains look like oatmeal, after they lose their mind and die. So just because it's someone just because it's someone that we perceive to be kind or heroic or even a pacifist, then it doesn't necessarily clear them of the ability to be violent, to be aggressive, to be filled with anger and loathing for another human being. It doesn't clear them of that. Look at what Ted Bundy did. He's a law student, right? He's just a handsome, funny, lovable. A lot of people said that he was real sexy. Kind of like everybody's guy. And then he'd go out and he'd commit the most heinous murders imaginable. But then he'd come back home to his girlfriend and her child and be loving and attentive and wonderful. What about BTK? His family had no idea. None. He was just your friendly, lovable mailman. In fact, he brought treats with him to play with the little dogs and make them love him and be sweet. He treated the dogs with such respect and love, and yet there was a monster just below the surface. So that's number one. I have listened to some channels where they're discussing the possibilities. They're speculating on the possibilities of who could have done this or how or why. And the one thing that I notice in all of them, these, you can, Diane, absolutely. Thank you for being here. I appreciate it. The one thing that I noticed in all of these speculative types of discussion is the reliance or the assumption of normality. Every single one of the discussions. Everybody is talking about this like, but wait a minute. It wouldn't make sense if he did XYZ. I think he must have done ABC. Oh, yeah, but why would he have done ABC if blah, blah, blah? He would not have wanted this, or he would not have wanted that, or the killer would not have wanted to be caught, or the killer would have been worried about tracking blood, or the killer would have been thinking about blah, blah, blah. Hold on a minute. Put the brakes on, okay? Can we all agree you have no idea what the killer was thinking? Because you're a rational, logical human being that would not even kill a puppy, much less 4 vital, vivacious human beings. Okay, so put that right out there on the table. You're not talking about a normal person here. This is not a normal person that did this. The person that's going to turn out to end up being the one that did it, there will be people that know this person in real life, and you know what they will say? They will say, oh, yeah, man, we've been telling people a long time. That was one weird dude. Oh, yeah, we knew about him. He had some strange ways about him. Let me tell you the one time we did blah, blah, blah. That is what it's going to be like. The deaths of these 4 kids lack rhyme or reason, with one exception. And that's what I'm about to talk to you about. Now, you may be looking at the fella driving the white, what? Elantra. That actually is a person driving a 2012 Hyundai Elantra down the streets of Moscow. I believe the video was taken in 2019, I think. But who is it? That's what I want to know. Because this guy right here in this picture, he definitely has a screw loose. He was driving this Elantra on the sidewalk downtown with people around. He was angry. Take a look at that picture of him. Does he look angry to you? So who is it? That's what I want to know. Who do we think it is? I'm not going to tell you where it came from. It's associated with someone that we're talking about in this story, these people. AK? You think it's AK? I don't think it's AK. No, that's not AK. Poor AK. Oh, AK's here. Oh, okay. No, AK. It is not. Y'all are terrible. Man, y'all are horrible. Y'all are going to get me in trouble. I see it coming right now. Okay. So who is it? Tony, who do you think it is? Looks like Chris Landry? No. This is a player in the Idaho story. Come on, AK, tell me who that is. I'm going to be really disappointed if nobody can tell me who they... Joseph Morris. Yes, my friends. This is a video I dug up of Joseph Morris. He drives a Hyundai Elantra 2012. That's not true. I'm just making it up because he told a lie and he made up the video of the screams. And everybody's really upset about that, correct? Not one of the Davids. This person was full of rage and anger. Yes, he was, Pam. You are exactly correct. Yep. So what's going on with this guy in the car? Who do y'all think that is? I have one guess only. One. Well, but which one? Make up with Jackie. We got several to choose from. Hoodie guy from the grub truck. I don't know, Ellen. Is that who you think it is? I don't think it really looks like him, does it? Looks like he has an awfully heavy lower jaw. Gearhead says maybe Jack S. Really? So most of you think it's Jack S, huh? I don't think it's Jack S. Doesn't look like Jack S to me. What this video did for me is it made me confident. The police chief. No, hey, AK, quit. Behave yourself. Maybe Gearhead. Maybe. Possibly. Kathy, did you know that Kaylee had blocked Jack DeCour from her social media? She remained on his social media, but she had blocked him from hers. I don't know. I don't really know what to say about the hack. Please understand something. This was very hard to get. I just got lucky and I was able to play. I used Canva. The picture I was able to get I put into Canva, and then I was able to work with the photo. I tried with my. I've got some photo editing software. I just couldn't get it to smooth. It just, but I was able to get a clip from the Camtasia, and then I went from Camtasia and uploaded it into Canva, and I think that's a fairly good clip out of a video. Mrs. Laundry disguised as Brian. Tony, behave yourself. You and AK, you guys, I see now where this is going right now. Okay. Hit it. Hoodie guy with his jaw fixed in an angry facial position. I believe he looks angry, Aldo. I think he does. I did not initially think the guy was angry. I actually thought that it was maybe they were playing. Maybe they were joking around, right? After I got it, I found where I could actually see his face and was able to get a good clip of that. Once I put it up in Canva and it came out, I said, no, this asshole's definitely angry. There's no doubt in my mind that he's angry. So I'm going to, hold on just a minute, y'all. Hold on. Sorry about that. Okay. Hey, critters. Welcome, my friend. Okay. So I put this up. Yeah, it is the front of the video. And I've got this up. And here's the reason that I decided to use the picture. I decided to use the picture because it gave me some useful information. And the useful information that it gives to me is this. The cops have to know who he is. They have to know. Now, I was feeling all good about this, right? I was thinking, okay, this makes me feel happy. If I can find this, then I know the cops can find it. But then I found out that the cops waited 9 days. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. The cops waited 9 days to go to the stores, the businesses, and ask, hey, do you have a video, a camera, security system by any chance that we could look? Oh, yeah, but it only stays 72 hours. Well, the recordings last either 24 hours, 72 hours, or sometimes, 30 days, right? But it's expensive to store that much camera footage. So most businesses, they only keep it a day or two, and then they just let it go because it's just too much to keep unless they get robbed, unless there's an incident, and then they can download that clip that shows it. So the cops wait 9 damn days to go ask? Why? Wouldn't you have believed they find those children, those young adults, they find them, let's say they get there 2, 3, 4 o'clock in the afternoon. Don't you believe that you would have had a group out like by 10 o'clock that night going to all of the gas stations, all the convenience stores, and then the next day going house to house? Do you have a Ring doorbell? Do you have this? Do you have a security system? Do you have any video? Can you save it for us? But they didn't do that, y'all. They didn't do it. Bingo, big ups. That's what I think it is. That's exactly what I think we're looking at. So now I'm thinking, at first when I found it, I went, wow, that is totally Jack. Like that is him. And I thought, well, they got to know that because they're the cops and I'm a nobody, right? But now, after learning how they waited 9 days before anyone ever came and asked, now I'm just disheartened by the whole thing. So we'll see where it goes, right? At the very least, well, there'll be people that can look at this and make their own decision about who they think it is. All right. We do have some video, like from some of the, I think, Post Falls Memorial, where we got some pretty good profile pictures of some of the jacks that we could compare those profiles to this particular profile, right? So I didn't want to do it here because I didn't want to do anything that was incendiary, I guess. But y'all can do it. And so let's see what happens. All right. So there we have it. Now then, here's the next part. The killers were calling Jack to let him know the job was done. The girls were dead when Jack 7 calls me. I don't know about. Okay, so Kristen, so I'm going to start with this possibility first because of what your comment is. Okay, so I get what Kristen's saying here. I think you're saying that it was like a professional hit. Is that what you are suggesting? That someone somehow knew they wanted someone in that house dead. Perhaps they paid for a professional to do the job. And so then there was this symbolic gesture. On 4chan, there's a guy on there that basically kind of did here's how it all happened. And he said that, the light going off in the bathroom, that was a signal that it was happening or that it was done or something symbolic like that. So I'm going to stay with Kristen on this for a minute because this is one of the possibilities. And remember, the thing that prompted this video is me listening to other channels where they're having this discussion on the murders and how it could have all the mechanics of the deaths, how the killer could have done the things that he done, how he accomplished it. And me being struck by the need for rational, logical behavior, that everybody's hypotheses were based on expected human behavior. What does a normal person think about? What does a normal person do in these types of extraordinary situations? And the reality is, you don't have any reason to believe the person that completed these 4 murders was rational, logical, and certainly not normal in any way. Now, in the case of a professional hit, which is what Kristen is talking about, if this was for whatever reason, because we do have some family members that have drug ties to big drugs. When I say big drugs, I mean big money. And they're serving time. And so you could have organized crime involved, right? It wouldn't be shocking knowing what we know at this point. So let's just say for whatever reason, it was a message. Maybe it was a killing that was designed to warn people, to say, don't mess with us, we'll hurt you, get you back on track, do what we've agreed for you to do, or you owe us, whatever organized crime, whatever reason they would have to do what they did. Well, then I believe that they could get in, whoever did it could get in the house, kill 4 people, and be out the door without leaving a drop of blood anywhere within 19 minutes. I think they can absolutely do that. And a lot of people that are discussing it, they're saying silly things. Well, I don't guess I should say they're silly, but it seems silly to me when I consider you're assuming you're assuming normal circumstances, and this was anything but normal. So you got to think bigger than normal circumstances. And the reality is, anybody that's had military training can tell you, I can get in that house, I can kill 4 people without waking up anybody else, and I can get out of the house within 10 minutes. No question about it. And you say, oh, that's just ridiculous, Jules. I've never heard anything so silly. How could they do that? With the proper weapon, it would take a half a second to end someone's life and disable their vocal cords all at the same time. Before they ever woke up, before they ever knew what hit them, they would be unable to cry out, and within seconds, their brain would be finished. Well, if it only takes less than a second to do it, and one swipe with a knife in the right place, how hard is it going to be? If you're in condition and you're strong and you know where you should place the knife. Let me remind everybody, Jodi Arias. Travis Alexander was a big guy. He was a strong guy. He had been working out, lifting weights. He was well conditioned. And, she's a petite woman, young woman. Now, I have heard people say, yeah, but she got him in the bath, in the shower, and he's sitting in the water and he couldn't get up and defend himself, and blah, blah, blah. Okay, agree to all of the above. However, when she finally ended his life, it was in the bedroom, and it was one cut with the knife in just the right place. So if your goal, like Kristen is suggesting, if the goal is, I'm only in there to complete a mission, I have to go in, I have to put an end to this person, and then I have to get out, unseen, unencumbered, correct? Now, perhaps the surprise was that Kaylee was there. Perhaps the surprise was, wait a minute, she's not supposed to be there, and yet I'm standing up in the trees watching them take Murphy out to the bathroom. We know this because Kaylee's sister said they came home, they greeted Ethan and Xana, they let Murphy out, they went out in the backyard together, they let the little dog go out and go to the bathroom, and then they came back in, and then supposedly they went upstairs, and then one of the downstairs roommates says that she heard Ethan talking to a guy, quote unquote. So what I feel like if this was a professional hit and it would have been targeted at Maddie based on organized crime, then that killer made a command decision and said, look, this is the night. This is a quiet weekend. There's nobody out and around. I've already mapped my way in and out. I just got to get this done and get out of here. And yeah, I'm sorry there's someone else involved, but oh well. So they go in, the person goes in. The question is, what's going on with Murphy? Why is it that Murphy isn't in the same area of the house? I'd thought about perhaps Murphy's downstairs with one of the survivors. Well, I don't think so, because then why did Kaylee's sister say that the 2 girls took Murphy out when they got home from the grub truck? So that doesn't work, right? I kind of think they were in Maddie's bedroom. Kaylee had moved out. She didn't have anything in her bedroom, and I would probably have even moved her bed home, right? So being in the same bedroom was probably a function of just utility, a place to sleep, but they're also best friends. And they're having their last night together, and they were probably all chatty and having fun, and they were, calling Jack for whatever reason. And yeah. But we heard Maddie, F you, mister. We saw her slam her hands down on the door. We also saw a video of her saying, Murphy, you've been a bad dog, right? Playing like she was Kaylee. Maybe Murphy was crate trained. Maybe Maddie didn't want Murphy in her room because she, doesn't like dogs, or maybe she's allergic to dogs. Or maybe Murphy sleeps better when he's in his crate in the other bedroom. Maybe she just put him in her old bedroom because that was what Murphy was used to. Hoodie guy at food truck had on white Nikes with black swoosh. Jack D also made the TikTok video of his apartment smoking weed through paper towel. Murphy's on the couch jumping, shows Nikes on his feet. Thank you, Not So Dumb Blonde. So I'm good. There are a lot of people that talk about when you've got a puppy, you want a well-socialized animal that is a joy to be around. You don't want a little dog who's a nuisance and nobody likes him. So one of the very first steps is you teach them to be in a crate, and their crate is their home. They feel safe in their crate. They like their crate. They're secure. You make it nice. You put treats in there under the blanket. You put toys in there, and then you let them sleep there at night, and that's where they're safe and comfortable. So I'm not all freaked out about, Murphy wasn't in the crime scene. There could be a rational reason that Murphy was in the other room. Even though they had let him out, he could have been crated, period. All right. So I think the guy heads up the stairs. Murphy's crated. He heads up the stairs, and he already knows that Kaylee's going to be there. He could have waited for the lights to go out, whatever it was. And then when he goes in, he's only got to, I'm just going to say it. I don't know of any other way to do it than to just say it. And it's going to be violent and gross. And if you're triggered to that kind of thing, maybe don't listen. Is that a good way to handle it? Because I don't know how to dance around what I want to say without, so I'm just going to say it. So if it bothers you, please don't listen. How's that? Okay. So all you got to really do, and I'm not saying that it's easy. The human skin is very, very tough, but if you have the proper tools and it's sharp, sharpened and everything, and you know where to do it. It's not, if both girls are laying in bed, you walk in, you go for the throat of the first one. The second one's probably going to wake up, and you may have a couple of extra wounds, but eventually you'll get that person into a position to cut their throat as well. You're ready to walk out. There's the blood is not going to, if you have the body placed down, face down, you're not going to get it on you. It's going to go into the mattress. So then the killer's done. It's that fast. And he may have gone into the bathroom. That may be what we see at 3 a.m. on the police body cam. He may have gone in and cleaned up. He may have gone in and washed up. Carried a plastic bag with him. He could have had boot covers on, like surgical booties. You just pull them off your shoes, and then you got clean shoes. And you throw it in your trash bag and walk out the door. So I think he was heading down the stairs. It's possible one of the girls yelled, and maybe Ethan heard something and came out like, what's going on in here? Or maybe it was Xana that heard something, right? And one of them came out saying, what's going on? I think it was Ethan, because I kind of got the feeling from what was said about the survivors that they didn't immediately see him, when they came up the stairs going into the kitchen, that he was further into the kitchen before they saw him. And so I think that there was a battle there, that he was awakened and the killer was sort of taken by, they were both kind of taken by surprise. There was a real fight, and you know, and then Xana was maybe in the room yelling, or maybe that's what the survivors heard. And so the guy went in then and had to very quickly try to put an end to Xana. And then once it was over with, I think he walked out the back door. I think he walked out the same way he came in. I think he came from the backyard. I think he went through the sliding glass doors both times. And part of me feels like he may have even had a conversation with the girls in the backyard when they were walking Murphy. Let's say, for example, that the killer lives in the apartment buildings across the road. If the killer lives in the apartment buildings to the side of the house, I'm not talking about through the front of the house, but to the side of the house, nobody would ever see him. We've got people that live over there that say they walk their dogs. They go out to that parking lot area at the back, go into the woods, which is the backyard of where the kids lived, walk their dog, go to the bathroom, and then go back in. What if they ran across each other and had oh, hey, how are you doing? Did y'all have fun tonight? Yeah, we did too. Right? So there's some points of contact that may actually really be there. Or the guy could have just been sitting up in the parking lot waiting for the opportunity to do what he was going to do, right? So if it's a professional hit, I don't see a professional hit going from Sigma Chi up the alley into the front door of the house, doing the dirty deed, and then walking back and going to bed at the fraternity house. I don't know. That's just not going to happen. I think it's more of park the car on the road back behind the woods, walk down the woods, hide in the dark, knowing about when the kids would come home, having watched them, having figured out what their scheduling was, waiting till they all go in and lights go off, and then walking in to make your move. You do it very quickly, very fast, methodically, knowing where you're going. You run across somebody that should not have been awake, and that's where the big battle happens. That's where the bloodshed happens. And then you've already, taken the stuff off. It's in your trash bag, but now you've got more blood on you. And I think that's where they don't find any blood on doorknobs inside the house or handrails going up down the stairs, but then they find blood all over the sliding glass door. Why? Well, he'd already cleaned up before he came down. He wasn't anticipating running into Ethan and Xana. I think this is only my assumptions or wild speculation, right? Goes out, goes up the hill, gets in the car, gone to wherever they live. And here's the problem. The problem is, professional hit, you're never going to find them. You're never going to find them. There's no connection to them. Now, we do have a gas station attendant who's come out. They've said, hey, I saw 3 a.m. white Hyundai Elantra speeding away, going in the exact opposite direction than they believed that he might have gone. And, here's the video. And then, damn, buried in the forgotten files of the internet, there's a video of a person involved in all of this Greek life drama in Moscow. And he's driving a white Elantra bigger than Dallas. And he looks like somebody important in the story. All right. So there's that. That would be like a professional hit. Maddie would be the target. Okay. Now then, the next possibility is, and this I think is the one that a lot of the YouTubers really like it, or the one that makes the most sense to them. This is the one that people seem to be really focused on. And it's the idea that there's a man scorned. Now, the old saying goes, hell hath no fury like a woman scorned, not a man scorned. But there are some very patriarchal men. There are some young guys that feel that when they have a female, after a certain period of time, they experience a sense of ownership over that girl, even in the case of a breakup. In fact, sometimes this sense of ownership, it doesn't really emerge until the breakup. And then when the breakup happens, it's like the guy kind of panics, and then he tries to like assert his power and his dominance. And he's like, oh, wait a minute, damn it. You know, if I can't have you, nobody's going to have you. Oh, you think you're going to go off and have a nice life in Austin? Well, let me show you just how much you're not going to be able to ignore me. Oh, you want to erase me off of your social media? I don't need to be on your social media. I'll show up at your damn house when you're out partying with your friends. That kind of idea. And I think we're all probably used to that, right? That idea of a possibility for it happening. We've learned a lot in the past 5-10 years. Dr. Ramani has done a great job educating all about narcissists and narcissistic men, and, you know, the madness of, you know, narcissistic supply. And so we can kind of get that. We can kind of see where, of all the people involved that we're aware of, you know, Jack had a lot to lose, guys. He has a lot to lose. Let's be honest, he's not even close to being in her class, right? She is a drop dead gorgeous girl. She's absolutely driven and brilliant and intelligent and hungry for accomplishment. And that's not him. He's a bit slovenly. I don't know if that is something that happened to him after high school. I don't know if he got depressed or if he got involved in drugs, or, you know, I don't know really what happened to him. But this isn't, let me see if I can take this off the screen here. She's the girl, you know, that every guy wanted. Oops, wrong one. Well, where did that comment go? Why won't it come down? Hide current comment. There it goes. Okay. So this is Jack DeCour, the ex-boyfriend, right? This is the most recent picture of the two of them together that I could find. Look at this picture. And yeah, it's grainy. I apologize for that. I had to really zoom up really big to get a good look. But this is a close-up of him. And this is when, you know, he was still in high school. So some pretty dramatic, you know, there's a change in his appearance, in his manner of hygiene and whatnot, right? So you think about if you're him and you've had the girl that everybody wanted. You've had the beautiful girl that's driven and accomplished and intelligent and sweet, most likely to succeed. She was yours. And now she's leaving. Now she's going away. And she doesn't want your ass. In fact, she's deleted you and blocked you from her social media. You got a lot to lose, don't you? And as long as she's there, As long as she's there where he can drive by and look at her house or see her across campus or just to even look up and see that window in the middle of the night, at least he can calm himself thinking, hey, you know what? I'm just going to keep trying. One day I'll win her back. Right? Except now she's changing the game. She's graduating. She's going to Austin, Texas. You know how many young adults want to live in Austin, Texas just because it is cool? It's the place to be if you're a young adult and you're college educated and you want a nice, great career. Austin's a great place for those types of people. He was losing his grip on her. In the beginning, he began to tell himself, it'll be okay, I'll win her back. But she got moved further and further and further. And now there she is, one last hurrah with Maddie. And she's gone to Texas. It might as well have been another continent. Last chance, last opportunity. And maybe he was at the bar. Maybe he was watching her flirt with other men. Maybe he had enough. Maybe he was so angry because she would not listen to him. She refused to give him another chance. There was a lot for him to lose. It was a lot. What a lot of people are saying, this had to be somebody that was very angry and very vicious and just out of control. Sure, out of control, but maybe desperate. Maybe what you and I are looking at and we're seeing hate and rage. Maybe there's someone out there that could look at it and go, yeah, I see desperation. So it is possible that this started out as, I've got to make her listen to me. And then it ended with, no, you're not going to leave me here alone, jaded, embarrassed, ashamed, while you go down there to the bright lights of, Austin, Texas, and live this fabulous life and have everybody watching you live it up. And then they're all going to be making fun of me and talking about me. Nope. I'm not going to stand around for that. And so he fixed it. So there couldn't be any bright, big, shiny lights up on her social media. He couldn't be humiliated anymore with her fantastic achievement. So it doesn't always have to be rage that brings out violence. It can be desperation that brings out violence. All right. Yeah, I think either way you look at it, I think the girls were targeted first. I think the intended target was someone, whether it was Maddie or Kaylee, it was someone upstairs in that bedroom. That was the target. I feel it in my bones. I think what happened with Ethan and Xana, I think they heard something, or Ethan did, or maybe Ethan was just walking out to go to the bathroom. But one way or the other, I think Ethan walked out, surprised the killer, and they fought. And that's why Ethan ended up further away from the room and more into the kitchen. And then we know that Xana fought because she had bruises. I got to tell you too, I'm a little bit bothered by that statement, the idea of bruising. A little bit curious about how that would happen. Um, I also am a bit curious about the term strong weapon. This was a strong weapon. Makes me wonder, was it? Was it a hunting knife? Maybe it was a different type of weapon. Maybe it was something else. Maybe it was an axe. I don't know. But either way, I think however it came to pass, if it was a act of rage, if it was an act of desperation, I think Ethan and Xana were they were the unintended deaths. I don't think they were targeted. Now I recognize, please let me say this. I do recognize that there is talk that Ethan had a fight with a guy. Was it David? Shoot. David Lowry? No, wasn't David Lowry. David something. I don't remember. I don't remember the name. Somebody in the fraternity named David, and they had a fight that night, and Xana pulled Ethan away from the fight. The storyline, if you're to believe it, the storyline is that David and Ethan had long-term disagreement. That the disagreement started during the 2021 rush, no, 2022 rush, and that it never calmed down. That they just, even though they were in the same fraternity, they were arch enemies. There were things said to, make fun of each other and whatnot. But nevertheless, this battle. If that's the case, then why in the world would this person go past Ethan and Xana? Why would they go upstairs first and run the risk of waking people up in the house? Why not go straight for Ethan? I think the fact that Ethan was out of the bedroom is just about guarantees that the killer went upstairs first. I don't know how that could have happened any other way. Right? But I know that conversation's out there. I know people are saying that really it was probably Ethan and Xana that were the target, but I continue to think it was one of two things. I think it was either Jack being desperate, not wanting to be abandoned, not wanting to be shown up while the girl goes off and has a fabulous life. Here he is, loser in Idaho. I think he didn't want, he just didn't want that. And so he lost control of himself. He acted out in a moment of passion and did a terrible thing. And then Ethan woke up and he had to battle there. And then Xana was witness, so she had to go. Or Maddie was the target based on her mother's affiliation with big organized crime. And this was a message or a payback. So it was professional. Or my original, we got a little serial killer on our hands. We got us a little serial killer on our hands. And I'm not going to rehash that one because we already talked about it. That I thought that Buddy is the first victim. And that the guy that did it maybe got triggered watching the Dahmer slasher stuff, on Netflix. And that was enough to sort of make him go, hey, those girls next door, I hate those girls. Screw them. They're up all night. They're playing music. They got all those friends up there. I don't have any friends. Why? Why don't people like me? Screw them. I'm over here. I'm trying to go to school and get graduated and try to have a nice life. And they're messing that up for me. They can't shut up. They can't. They're up till 3 in the morning every morning just playing the music, drinking with all their friends. Why don't I have any friends? It's not fair. I'm gonna show them. And in that case, what are you going to look for? The guy finishes up and he walks across the street and goes into his apartment. But look, these cops, 9 days before they went around to gas stations and convenience stores within a 10-mile radius and said, hey, do you got any video? 9 days. Do you know how much evidence was lost in 9 days? So we're still where we've been. We have someone introducing a white car speeding away at 3 o'clock in the morning. But the cops did not do their due diligence and collect that type of information immediately when the crime happened so that it could be saved. So here we are. Where does Jack D get all of his money? His family they're a wealthy family. They have old money, and both parents are accomplished medical providers. They're playing music, and I can't concentrate. I'm not ruling it. I'm gonna tell you something. I am not convinced that we don't have a serial killer living in those apartments. And if the cops couldn't even do their due diligence to go around and check for security systems and video cameras, then they damn sure didn't go into those apartments and do a run through looking for bloody clothes. Absolutely, Sparks. Yes, absolutely. That should have been the very first step. After securing the grounds, they should have had people out there collecting. Get out there, find the video. People have videos, go find it. Oh, no. I said Jack D. No, Jack S is the one that has the doctor parents and old money. Yeah. Why do you think that Jack D has a lot of money? That hasn't really come out for me. I think he's comes from a fairly humble socioeconomic status, right? They have probable cause, child of God. They've got 4 slayed young people in the house next door. And so any apartment that had a window that they could see the house, you could say probable cause. I heard one of their professors on a YouTube channel speaking how they're the safety community campus, implying it's not a local. I fear they're trying to just protect the university. I think there are many people that feel like the cops are more interested in protecting the enrollment at the college than they are in finding the perpetrator. I'm not one of those. I don't particularly believe that. I do believe that this group of cops was really unprepared for this. I think they had no idea what to do with the murder. I don't think they knew what to do. I don't. I don't think it ever even occurred to them to go and ask for video. And once the state police got involved, that's your 9-day period, and all the evidence has been deleted. Jack DeCoeur changed his appearance and sold his truck shortly after. It appears that way, doesn't it? I mean, he might have a reason for changing his appearance. He might have a reason for those things. Mary Rose, it came from a Sigma Chi from postings that were 4, 5, 6 years old on social media. The neighbor Lauren Matthias recently interviewed gave me the heebie-jeebies. Martian planet. Was it Jeremy? That's right, Hillbilly Heart. Yeah, college kids, cameras. Yeah, it's very strange. Totally inexperienced police. Yeah, that's what I think, Sparks. It's not that they were doing anything tricky or underhanded, no cover up. I don't think it was anything like that at all. I think they simply just went, "What? What do we do? Like what?" I think they were I just don't think they knew what to do. I think they were completely unprepared. They didn't have anybody on the force that had ever done a murder investigation, much less a quadruple, right? I just think they just didn't know. And the damage to the investigation is there. And I laugh, I'll tell you this. I laugh when I hear them say, "Oh, well, the local, the online sleuth community, they're creating so much damage for the investigation." Please stop. Please stop saying that, okay? It's not true. The people that are talking about this were doing what everyone does. Everyone talks about these types of crimes. You just don't like it when it shows up that there were mistakes made. Now, there are people in the true crime community that do reach out to family members and crime victims and potential perpetrators, and they should not do that. I've taken the position. It's not right, and you damn sure should not be conducting a mock interrogation with a camera rolling for somebody that could be involved in the death of someone. So, because ultimately, what if you go to trial? You're going to destroy the ability to submit that evidence or submit the information into evidence, for the jury to consider. So, no, don't tell me my discussion, my conjecture, my assumptions. No, they're not harming this investigation. The fact that the cops don't go around to try to find film from local businesses for 9 days after the death, that's what's hurting your investigation, people. Not my little know nothing channel where we just sit around and visit, chatter. Incompetence is a huge issue with police departments, especially since many left the force when under duress a couple of years ago. What was the duress, Hillbilly? Why did they leave? That's what I think, Fractured Fairy Tales. If you're there, if you're law enforcement, you got a badge. You may think that your job is to harass the students. You may think your job is to catch drunk drivers. But in truth, your job is to protect the public. And part of that is to be prepared for a murder investigation in case you have to figure out who's the dangerous guy and get him off the damn streets. Exactly, Mississippi Mud Pie. There's a reason that I'm showing this picture. There's a reason. Compared the two pictures. Police became targets for social demonstrations and social justice, sparking inappropriate admonishment of officers trying to do their jobs. I see. Yeah, that happened in a lot of places. So a lot of people left the force during that period of time. I know a lot of cops that found different jobs during that time. I'd have to look, but I emailed Jules the photo. The photo at 3 a.m. Is that what you're talking about, Mississippi? I have that. It's not a department's fault for little experience. No, I think I do hold the department responsible. Um, I don't think it's about little experience. I think it's about not taking the opportunity for appropriate training. I don't want to come off as saying it's pointing fingers and saying, well, you did wrong. What I'm saying is that even though you live in a small town, a college town, or whatever, you probably don't have a lot of murders, but you are the police. And if there is a murder, you should at least have protocol for how one would respond appropriately to a murder, right? And how are your officers going to know how to do that if you haven't sent them to school? There needs to be training. Hey, Meezer Mom. Yeah, Elizabeth, absolutely. Elizabeth said there is nothing that says protect our town's earnings potential like saying everyone is safe, nothing to see here, and that's what they did, right? That is what they did. They said no, no, no. This was an isolated, localized incident. Everybody relax. Don't worry. No, this was not isolated and localized. This was a slaughterhouse. And whether it was done as a professional hit job by organized crime sending a message, or we have a budding serial killer in the midst, or you've got a jilted ex lover who doesn't want to live in your shadow, whichever the three is the town's not safe. You have a crazy person walking around, especially if it's either a budding new serial killer or a jilted lover. In both of those situations, you damn well better figure out who they are so that you can secure them and get them help as soon as possible before anybody else gets hurt. Oh, Kathy, I did see that. I didn't know did maybe that was I don't remember if I got that in an email or if I just happened upon it. Yeah, Truckee got the same treatment. Yeah. I don't know who Kathy thinks it's a jilted lover. Well, look at the picture here. It's from like 4 or 5 years ago. So look at the picture. Look at the face. There's something very special about the shape of that face. No, I don't think so, Jennifer. I think there's no doubt they're going to catch him. I agree, Shalimar. Send it through email. That's right, Hillbilly. And not you wait 9 days. The majority of businesses are going to do a 24-hour recording or maybe a 72-hour recording in the like the possibility of like a robbery or something like that, right? How many businesses can afford to have a 30-day recording? It's expensive. Yeah, I don't think yeah. Yeah, no, I think You just got to look at the picture. I put it up here for a reason. I didn't just randomly, it's not just like a picture of any old white car driving around. I'll put it this way. It is a picture that not a picture, a video that belongs to a Sigma Chi. It is. Now, it was hard to believe that it was there because they deleted all of their social media. No, Mississippi Mud Pie. No. He is driving his ass off. This car is driving like a bat out of hell, and I got lucky and was able to get that screenshot. That's right. Yep. That's right, Mary Rose. Thank you for being here, Hillbilly. I hope you sleep well. If you look carefully, there's actually two faces. But the face, the side profile is somebody driving a white Hyundai Elantra. Yeah, I think no, it's not a woman. No. Not a woman. Nope. I looked I because I thought so the car's driving erratically, and the it at one point it seemed like I might have seen either a dog, like longer hair, and I didn't know if it might be like a girl, like just the top of her head, or maybe it was a dog in the back seat. And I spent a lot of time manipulating it. It is not. That guy is in the car. Okay, this guy is in the car alone, but there is a face being reflected in the mirror. You have to ask yourself, how is it someone was able to get this recording? They weren't standing still, they were also in a car. So I think the guy that did the recording unwittingly actually took a photograph of his own face. No, or not a photograph, but a video. And I was able to get it to a point that you can see it. And that's it. It's a face in the mirror, and it's the face of the passenger in another car that was recording this guy driving, and they were laughing at him because he was so angry. It's crazy, isn't it? The criminals don't recognize it's the little things that'll get you. Who is this Inan Harsh that you guys keep bringing up? Hey, not built to break. Can somebody educate me very quickly? Um, that is Ted. Who is Ted? Ted. I don't know who that is. That's weird that y'all are bringing up these names because I really thought that I had really researched this pretty well. Who are, I guess these are Sigma Chi guys that y'all are bringing up? Inan Harsh. Let me do a quick Google. Inan Harsh. It's kind of a crazy name, isn't it? Interview with Moscow neighbor. Tells reporters he may have heard a scream. That was Joseph Morris. No, Joseph Morris is full of it. That no, Inan Mar. That what kind of name is that? I don't even think that's even a real name. Is there a real Inan Harsh? Or is that what Joseph? I know that Joseph Morris said, this guy sent me this recording, and you can clearly hear a girl, and she says, leave me alone. Okay. He says that the person's name is Inan Harsh. Harsh Reality YouTube channel. Well, maybe I'll send Harsh Reality. Oh, I think I've watched that channel. Oh yeah, no. I like Harsh Reality. He's like from the UK, right? Yeah. No, I like him. So is his name Inan? There's a real neighbor by that name, but he never claimed to hear a scream. Yeah, I think that's who they're saying. I think that's who Joseph Morris is saying recorded the scream was somebody named Inan Harsh, but it wasn't. It was faked. Inan Harsh was interviewed by Lauren Matthias. Really? Hmm. Lauren Matthias. Um. I don't see an Inan Harsh. Where is it? Lauren Matthias. Inan. Murdered students targeted. Kathy Mavet. Oh, yeah. Inan Harsh. Idaho neighbor tells reporters he may have heard a scream. I thought that was Joseph Morris. Oh, they didn't interview him. Yeah, they didn't interview. Somebody else said they interviewed to put it up, and then they bring it up on the newscast, but he wasn't actually there. Well, but I really think that what Joseph Morris put out, the recording that sounds like somebody screaming, I think it's a fake. Yeah, Lena. I didn't claim to hear the scream, but I thought it has nothing to do with the Joseph Morris fake audio and his altered news article. Oh, for some reason that's how I connected them, but um, I mean I may be wrong about that, but I just disregarded that because I felt like the Joseph Morse thing was not true. The interview is real. It's on the Hidden True Crime. Well, I pulled up her channel and didn't see it. Hold on, Lauren Matthias. She's the one. Her husband is a forensic psychologist, right? Hidden True Crime. All right. Oh, no, I haven't seen this one. Aha. Well, and he looks like a normal person. That's a surprise. So I want to do this. Hold on. Um, present. Share screen. Okay, so here is Inan Harsh, people. Let me set the record straight. I was wrong. He's a real person, it would seem. And Hidden True Crime interviewed him. That's true. Wow, I'm blown away. Okay, let's see what they say.
Hello, everyone. This is,
I want to go by a little faster here.
I hope, can bring us more insight. And I just want you to share with us what you know. Many also have heard of the neighbor that possibly heard a scream. This is that person.
Okay, so apparently, even though maybe what Joseph Morris put out wasn't true, it would appear, I don't know how. Maybe Lauren and Ashley Banfield are friends. I don't know, but this must be the guy that says he heard a scream. I don't know.
That I have with me now. So let everyone know this is going on. I'm going to start at night.
And usually like 9 to 11 hour shifts. So I went to work. I got off around, I think it was around 12 that night. It was kind of like a late close, and I like bullshitted with like a coworker for a little while after work, and then I went home. It was around, I don't know, like 1:30, 2-ish a.m. It was maybe when I got home, maybe and I'm always like kind of hoping that I have like a parking spot right in front of my door when I get there, because like lots of times on campus, there's like parties and like they're pretty full. And so like this time I noticed that like, I don't know, it wasn't really any cars as usual. I was like, cool, I'm gonna get a nice spot right in front. And there was I didn't, and I saw like this sort of like kind of like decked out like luxury, like I thought it was black SUV, maybe like a Beamer or something, and it had like rims, tinted windows, and I was like, oh, that's like a pretty cool car. And
All right, I've heard this. Okay, so what do you guys think about this idea that there's this expensive luxury car right there on the road, and then it's gone? Chef Dizzy saw $100,000 car sitting there in front of the slaughterhouse. So if this seems real to you, put a 1. If it seems like BS, put a 2. I'm going to tell you why I call BS on it. I call BS on it because first of all, if I'm a hit guy, what's going to attract attention in a college town? A hot car, right? If I'm a hitman, I'm not going to go riding up in my $100,000 car going, everybody look at me. Look at my big fancy knife. I'm going to want to drive something that's going to be indiscreet. Nobody's going to recognize it. Or if they see it, they're not going to remember it. Right? So this to me, I don't know. It's a little uncomfortable. Now, here's a possibility. Maybe there was some married man messing around with a college student, didn't have any business being where he was. Well, in that case, then he's sitting there listening to Inan Harsh going, oh my God, dude, be quiet before my wife hears you. That too could be possible, I think. But no, I don't think this BMW would have anything to do with the slaughterhouse. I don't really believe that. Okay. And Lauren kind of looks like she doesn't believe it too, doesn't she? She's got that, look how polite I am as you know, pile it up high and deep. Right? I mean, she's kind of looking at him like, oh yeah, sure, dude. Yeah, right. Yeah. Keep you go on with your bad self, but we don't believe that story. Okay, let's see what they say.
And then like, coming out, like I noticed some like plates from like Arizona, I want to say, or
Hey, plates from Arizona. Where has anybody seen Barry Morphew? Where the hell is Barry? Is Barry in Idaho? Somebody tell me. Has Barry found his way to Idaho? Man, hate when that guy shows up to town. You know what I mean?
Montana. There's kind of like it's like I'm always like kind of curious what kind of like different plates are like around and stuff. It's usually you just see like Idaho, especially in like my parking lot. And so like I came in and it was like surprisingly like pretty empty that night. Like none of the houses and like that on those like two streets were having parties, which was like kind of unusual. And then I went home. It's like making some tea, just like doing some contact staff drills and like stretching. I think I played a game of League.
Wait. What is combat staff drills? Can someone tell me what that is? I'm going to get on the Google. Let's jump on the Google. Contact staff drills. What is that? Contact staff drills from The Matrix? What? What in the world? Oh, y'all want to listen to the music? Oh, we're going to watch this after we finish Lauren's video. Y'all are going to enjoy that. Hey, Jennifer Adams, thank you so much for being a new member. I appreciate you so much. Thank you. All right, so we'll find out what contact staff drills are as soon as it's finished. Inan, this isn't looking good for you, buddy. Come on.
And then I went to bed, and then as I was falling asleep, it usually takes me like 30 minutes to an hour to fall asleep. Like, I don't know, I guess, I dismissed like initially like, one of my neighbors returning. Hello. After me. So I heard like, a car shut, a door shut, and then like, apartment door shut, and like also, like a scream, but like that's like normal. Like I always hear like screaming almost every Saturday night, so like I didn't really like think of it. And so
I'm sorry, I gotta look at something.
I played a game of League, and then I went to bed, and then as I was falling asleep, it usually takes me like 30 minutes to an hour to fall asleep. Like, I don't know, I guess, I dismissed like initially like, one of my neighbors returning. Hello.
He's kissing his kitty cat. Hello.
After me. So I heard like, a car shut, a door shut, and then like, apartment door shut, and like also like a scream. But like, that's like normal. Like I always hear like.
Okay, now what do you guys think about how he just sort of just moves right on past the scream? Did y'all see that? He didn't really even want to say that word, did he? Right. Yeah, it was just like, in the scream. Yeah. Maybe BS.
Screaming almost every Saturday night, so like I didn't really like think of it. And so, but like yeah, just looking back, I was like, I wonder if like that wasn't just like some drunk dude like screaming, like it's actually like the murder. And yeah, and it was like that was kind of a trip having like the cops like come on and like no one knew what happened. They're just like, you know, asking where we were. And we're like, this is weird. Like they're knocking on every single door in our apartment. Like that's never happened before. And then like I went inside and looked on the news and it was like 4 people stabbed to death. I was like, it's like right across the street. I was like, holy shit.
Yeah. Yeah. Wow. Yeah. When did you hear about it? Was it those knocks on the door? You woke up the next day? Did these knocks on your apartment door
Well, I
wake
was
up? How did you
already,
learn about it?
I was
Can I just say that is a gorgeous cat? Beautiful. All right, let me. I'm not going to show all of her interview because y'all should go over there and watch her channel and listen to the interview yourself.
This, you know, it's
no,
been 4 weeks
I'm a
and then
hermit. I'm super hermit. I
He's
don't
a
really talk to
hermit.
anyone. I talk to
He's a hermit, and he kisses his kitty cat hello, even when the national media is in his room.
a few of my really old friends. I talk to I hang out with my coworkers sometimes. And most of the time I'm super busy in my crafts. Like, I don't know.
I wonder if he knows Jeremy Reagan.
And I have like, I don't know. There's like a girl I hang out with and that's about it.
Okay. Okay.
And right now, that girl is going, "Don't say
Does
my
it make you
name." She's going, "Don't say my name, Einan."
It's hard to find. The apartments like that are hard to find anywhere. So and like the ones with vaulted ceilings are usually like luxury places. So you have to pay like a premium for them. So this was cool. I was living in Pullman, so I was like paying a lot. And I had because of my felonies, I couldn't really move anywhere for 7 years.
What? What'd you say? What'd he say? Somebody type in. What'd he just say? Type it in. Who heard it? Chef Hermit. What did he just say? Who heard it? Who heard it? Oh, not one felony, dumb blonde. How many? Yeah, with his 2 felonies. Man, now look at Lauren's face. Listen to this.
Anywhere, so and like the ones with vaulted ceilings are usually like luxury places. So you have to pay like a premium for them. So this was cool. I was living in Pullman, so I was like paying a lot. And I had because of my felonies, I couldn't really move anywhere.
What? With your felonies, you couldn't really move anywhere? Oh, man. It is. I'm just it's just incredible, isn't it? It's it's incredible. All right. So, you know, I don't know if do I have any mods in here? Can y'all drop the link for Lauren's channel, please? I'd appreciate that. And as we, let me see. Actually, it's probably faster for me to do it. Copy. All right. So here is the link to this video. But now we're going to look and see what contact staff drills are, because that's what this guy said he was doing that night. He came in from working and he did some contact staff drills. Okay, so let's see, what exactly are contact staff drills? Let's see what this is. Are y'all ready for this? It's got 1970s music.
As today we are going to do advanced contact staff tutorial on a move called the Matrix. It's probably the most famous contact staff move and the one that everybody wants to learn. In baton twirling, this is called the monster roll or the big monster roll, something like that. And the name was changed by, I believe, people like MCP and Rob Thorburn to the Matrix, because when you perform it, you look a little bit like Neo dodging bullets. This is quite an advanced move. It's quite physically strenuous. There are some definite prerequisites. You need to be able to do the backside half matrix, or the snares, and the front side half matrix.
Oh.
There are tutorials for both of these moves here and here.
And
So,
Inan is doing this hand-to-hand combat crap.
Nice and comfortable and neat and solid. Come back and try the matrix. Also, before you start training the matrix, you want to make sure you're nicely warmed up. As I said, quite a strenuous move. So you want to move about a little bit first, maybe do some gentle spinning, get the blood flowing, get your heart rate up slightly, or you can do things like jogging on the spot, star jumps, that sort of stuff. You also want to get the movement in your shoulders going. So arms forwards and arms backwards. Stretch out your chest. Started off over here, it's gone all the way around, finished over here, but completing the matrix would be when the staff comes back to the starting point. So as you can see, if you're familiar with the true prerequisites, you can see that it's those two SNESes or half matrices surprisingly combined to make the full matrix. The most difficult part about this move is the transitions from the front side to the back side around one shoulder.
Well, let's see it, Hot Shot.
To the front jits. So there are a number of different. You can place it on in the same place with the other hand. Some people start here. Some people start here or here. Even seeing people start from here, but I find that last one particularly awkward. It doesn't matter how you start. Remember, you can also, it's a good idea to focus on the different transitions separately. So we'll follow that kind of scheme in this tutorial. We'll start off working on.
Well, let's do it. Come on. Come on. Come on. Come on. Come on.
So backside to the front side transition is this one. Half matrix, all the way around, and it comes onto the chest. So usually, if we were just doing the half matrix, the move would end here. And all I've done is lean away and stick my front side rather as the arm around movement above you, all the way around. Another way, I think, your shoulder here, this is where string is going to be onto my chest. So string, and I've pulled it all. What this does in sync, the tutorial around the C with this string example, is the rotation becoming really nicely tucked in your armpit, right across your armpit here. You don't want it down.
Oh,
or
here
up,
it is. He's getting after it over here.
Side. You're just going to get even more frustrated. You're going to be back chest, working on which arms on a bit of the string. And my right arm is going to be pushing the staff round on that. So troubleshoot, a lean over here, cool, down the arm moved quite fast.
All right, so there
back.
you have it.
And then again, really constant is to make the staff go around.
He talks a lot.
Okay, so that pretty much.
I like more demonstration, little less talk and a lot more action. I was getting tired of the endless chatter. Nothing I said ever seemed to matter. So I took a little time, cleared my head, saw a flashing neon up ahead. It looked like a place.
Hi there, people. Doing a video tutorial on very basic spinning. That's for fire spinning, that is. These are the sort of building blocks of any fire spinning routine.
This is what Inan Harsh does, y'all.
And I think called a hand roll or wrist roll, where I'm passing it over.
Inan Harsh is the guy that heard the yell the night of the murders.
So this is all together. You do a wrist roll into a basic spin. Another couple of wrist rolls.
All right. Well, let's see.
And I'll just keep going for a bit because I'm a Muppet.
All right. So this was productive. This was a good deal, right? And the reason that I say this is a good deal is we got some information here about old Inan Harsh. He has multiple felonies. He loves his cat. He has a female. And when he comes home after work, and he's a chef, and when he comes home after working, Chef Dizzy likes to do contact staff drills. He's a felon, and so he stays home and spins. I think that's very well said, Jelly Mercs. Doctora Latina, ¿cómo estás? And the wrist roll. Oh, yeah. I want to know how many felons moved to this town to join that cult. So you think that Inan Harsh is in the, what's the name of that church? The Christ Church? Hi, Lise. Why are you irritable? I'm sorry to hear that. He has a messy bun. And if you'll watch the video of people running in the background of officers' body cams in the field, one of the people has a messy bun that you can see. I am going to look at that, America. Thank you for the heads up. Chefs have very sharp knives, and they are very comfortable with them. You never know who's living around you. You should be on alert. And you can check your state site to see if there's any registered sex offenders that live near. Exactly, Tommy. Just sit on it and spin, Yvette. And he has very sharp knives that he carries back and forth to work. Did he say that, Kathy? Does he carry his knives back and forth? Those knives are expensive. They're they're an investment. Yep. Wow. This live definitely took a turn. I didn't expect to go down that rabbit hole. But nevertheless, thank you guys for leading me to Lauren's interview of this guy. I had disregarded him. Anytime I would see the name, I disregarded it because I thought it was Joseph Morris. I thought Joseph Morris said, "Oh, look, this guy Inan sent me the recording of a screen," and I just thought it was all a made-up lie. So I was wrong, wasn't I? No. Well, okay, so St. Elmo, I think they've pretty well verified that the unconscious person was one of the survivors. She did run out of the house, and she did call 911, but then she fainted. And a passerby took the phone and then finished the call. I also think that people are chasing a red herring by focusing on the open front door that was down by where you parked cars. I think it's a red herring because I think that that's how the girls ran out. I don't think they ran to the sliding glass door. They would have had to have stepped over Jack's body. I think when they saw him and they realized what they were looking at, they ran back down the stairs and out into where they parked, the front part of the house. She called 911. She fainted, and somebody was walking by and was trying to help them, and they finished the call with 911. No, I can't finish Dahmer. I couldn't get past the first 2 episodes, and I know everything that he did. But the way it was filmed, the way they did it, it was way too real. And I had the thought when I was watching it, I hope a sicko is not watching this and this serves as a trigger. And now we know about Buddy, the little dog, and, I got a bad feeling that it may have been part of it. It is very, very negative and frightening. Yeah, absolutely. Mary Rose. All right. Wow. Well, this turned out, yeah, but I don't know that I believe it. I don't think I believe the whole Scream thing. Yeah, he has multiple felons, not one. Doesn't seem like that, Steve. I don't have any reason to believe that, Saint Elmo. This picture of this guy he is the driver. He's driving a Hyundai Elantra. This, there's also another face caught in the rearview mirror. I believe it's the person that's recording him driving. He was driving erratically and he was angry. And I'm asking people to look at it. Does this look like anybody that we know about? No, you did not throw it off, Shalimar. It's good. I'm happy to know it. Thank you. Yeah, he was there all night, Lex. He puts himself in the area. Yep. One more time. Here is the link to the interview with the neighbor who has his own set of knives. He's a chef. He gets home at 1:30 in the morning. He claims that he heard a scream. He plays, when he gets home, he kisses his cat hello, and then he does contact staff drills for fun. And he admittedly has multiple felonies and can't live anywhere else. So there you have it. And the driver of the car, yes, Sigma Chi, Queen of Hearts. Yes, that is correct. I'll tell you who I think it looks like. I think it looks like Jack Decor. No, that's what I'm asking for, Steve. I want to know about John. I don't know anything about him. He got his social media locked down very quickly. I don't know of anybody that's come up with any information about him. The bow staff converts to a spear. Oh my God. Interesting, right? The description was this was a big weapon. Or no, a strong weapon. The damage, the assault, it was done by a strong weapon. This big ups. This picture is taken from a video that's a couple of years old. Yeah, what about that person, Queen? I know who you're talking about there. Jack D. Jack D dyed his hair. No, not the scene of the crime, Jim. On a social media account of a Sigma Chi that was several years old, and it was connected to a response statement. I was actually surprised it didn't get deleted because it was nothing. These kids, this Sigma Chi group, they have completely cleaned up their internet. Yeah, get it, Queen of Hearts. I remember his name. It's David. David. I can't. Is it Lowry? I keep wanting to say Lowry. I don't know. It's not Lowry. It is David. David. Is it Lowe's? No. David. I don't remember. I can't remember. Yeah, right, Tommy? And I mean, it was fast. It was very, very fast. No, I thought it had an S in it. David. Maybe it was Leonard. David Leonard? I can't remember. I don't remember. Loesch. David Loesch. Loesch. That was it. David Loesch. Frats ouster members through live vote with everyone present. Who do you think it is, Scarlett? Scarlett. Tell us who you think it is. Spill the beans, girl. Yeah, I believe 100% it was Tommy. And I think it was one of the girls in the top floor. And I think that Ethan woke up and heard something. And that's why he ended up fighting and, you know. You think it's I don't think it's a big enough baby face, you know? Oh, the fortune side is going crazy. You say David has the Habsburg chin? I think Jack DeCour's got that big heavy chin too, Moonlight. Yeah, Loesch. That was it. You know him, True to Me? JS is my hands down. If not, come forward. I mean, I'm going to tell you, I think Joe should not be disregarded. I think Joe is suspect. His behavior at the grub truck is just as suspect as Jack S. But of all of the potential suspects, Jack DeCour really had the most motive, right? When you consider all the individuals, DeCour, he had the most to lose. He has an actual motive beyond just, oh well, she embarrassed me, she hurt my feelings. No arrest, Steve. So I think, I feel like this guy looks like Decor, the guy that's in this car. I think he looks like Decor. The guy that's in the rearview mirror, well, who's he look like, y'all? Who's in the early pictures with Jack? S. I agree, Jetta. Yeah, I don't know why people have ruled him out. That's hard for me to believe, Gina. It is very hard for me to believe that this was done by multiple people. Unless it's a military operation, and I just don't see, I don't know how that could, I don't believe that. I think it's one person did it, and whether it was a hit for organized crime, or we got a budding serial killer, or we got, a lover scorned. It's one of the three. Yeah, I'm with Tommy on that one. One person. Tommy says jilted lover. He's definitely got the most to lose, doesn't he? He's definitely got the most to lose. So I don't know. It's definitely interesting, but I'm going to go ahead and end this. We've been at this now. This is a 2-hour video. I think that's plenty. I sure do appreciate you guys being here. I will say this. I think I'm very disappointed that the cops did not go around to the businesses, immediately within 24 hours of the discovery of the bodies, because you're losing valuable information. The businesses don't really typically store their footage for months on end. And so you go in there 9 days after the murders and ask to see their cameras. The information's been destroyed. We've got, if you're connected to local police, you guys have a responsibility. You may not have a lot of murders. It may not be something that you deal with on a weekly basis or whatnot, but it's just about impossible to believe that you're not ever going to have a murder. I mean, we're human beings. Human beings are emotional creatures, and where there's emotion, there can be damage. So you guys need to be trained and know how to respond. You need a written protocol, like in a 3-ring binder. Something you can say, oh, wow, we got a murder. We don't really know what to do, but hey, we got a murder protocol. Let's pull it off the shelf and dust off our little 3-ring binder here and say, oh, look, we should send somebody out within 5 hours of discovering the bodies. We should send somebody out to go collect the security camera footage from local businesses. Oh, look, we should have people go by early morning, light of day, and ask individuals for security footage from people, individual citizens. You guys lost an incredible amount of potential evidence because you just simply didn't know what to do. And it's your job to do it. If you don't know what to do in the case of a murder in your small town, then who is supposed to know? So just because you're not dealing with one every, month or whatever, you still have to be prepared. You owe it to the people in your community. It is your job to keep people safe. And you lost valuable evidence. So come on, if you work for local, police station or whatever, y'all got to get educated. You got to get you a binder together that says step 1, do this. Step 2, do this. Step 3, do this. You have to do it. You have to do it. Your local fire department, they're not sitting around waiting for a fire to happen before they get out and do something. They're practicing. Why aren't you guys practicing? Why What in the small, city cops and why aren't y'all practicing what to do in the case of true crimes, real felonies? Your fire department's doing that. All right. My lecture is over. The Karen in me is done. It wasn't too painful, was it? The 4chan ideas was that David takes steroids. He knew Xana before. He and Barry have a murder fantasy thing. Ethan and him got in a fight. I'm not sure at all. Wow, that's an awful lot going on there. I would ring every doorbell in Moscow. Absolutely. Yeah, exactly, Aries. It's very strange. Thank you, Fractured Fairy Tales. I appreciate you being here. Hey, Jen. Welcome. The sister was so mad at the beginning, saying that the first days were so important. She was the one who did a lot of the legwork. She found the grub truck footage. Yeah, no, she was absolutely that. Yeah, it's awful what's happened. This police department was unprepared. In the same way, I think that, Buena Vista, Salida, I think they were also unprepared to deal with, the disappearance of Suzanne Morphew. Same thing. You think it was an assassin? They do look like a miniature Truckee. But I do think in the case of Truckee, I think there was corruption. There was a cover up. And we don't know if some adult was involved with Kylie. We don't know why there would be a cover up, but it's hard to ignore. What happened in Truckee was so wrong. So wrong. Yeah. Okay, people, thank you so much. You guys know what to do. Subscribe, hit the bell, leave a thumbs up, and go underneath the video and leave your shopping list. But this week, instead of doing shopping list, you know what we're going to do? I want you to put a Dear Santa. Dear Santa, I've been a good boy. I've been a good girl. Please bring me XYZ. All right, will y'all do that? Leave me a Dear Santa letter under this video. All righty? You guys are wonderful. I can't even tell you how great it is to work all day and come home and be able to just kind of put my feet up and relax and have a chat with you guys about, some sensational, fantastic, unbelievable crime. Really, y'all are great friends. All right. Y'all have a wonderful evening. Merry Christmas to those of you who do the whole Christmas thing, and happy holidays for those of you who don't. All right. I'll be back.